Hey, WAC people. This is the OCT, Octavius Haye, and I want to thank you for tuning in to our page today. We greatly appreciate it. If you are listening to the podcast, you can also find it on Podbean. The link will be in the description. And if you listen to our music, you can also listen on SoundCloud and DatPiff. Both links will be in the description also. And as always, please remember to like the video, leave a comment, and to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button so you're informed every time we drop new content. Now enjoy this whack wisdom. I am whacking off.
It's the WACCast podcast, yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack to me,
yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast, yeah.
We talk whack right now. 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 Yes. Hello, whack people. Today we have a special guest joining us to give us an interview. Some of her time, fashion expert and personality, GooGoo Atkins. How you doing today, GooGoo?
I am good, thank you.
Thank you for coming up on here.
Of course.
So they would just have a few questions for you. Just get some information, get to know you a little better. So again, you are a fashion expert, personality. Tell us a little bit about what made you originally get into fashion, and did you have anything else that you thought you were going to do before you got into fashion?
I kind of always didn't know what I wanted to do for a long time. I said I knew the personality part. I knew I wanted to do that. I said I wanted to be an actress and then a talk show host. I was very inspired by Arsenio Hall. And so those were things that I was interested in. And then because there weren't a lot of options for me as a young teen, I became interested in clothes. And I was kind of always interested, but I didn't realize I was. And it went from just kind of coming up with ideas in my head, things that I wanted to wear, that I would, kind of fantasize about, if I had money or if I had, the resources, I would make this and I would do that. So it was always kind of there. But I didn't put it into action until much later. So I didn't even think I would be in fashion like that. It wasn't really an aspiration of mine. It was kind of one of those things that I kind of walked into. But being creative is I knew it would be, have something to do with me being creative and creating.
So I guess my question was going to be, I think around this time of the year, a lot of men kind of go to sports, and the women, I feel like there's a lot of fashion stuff going on, like the Met Gala. Mm-hmm. And do you watch it? Do you get influenced by it? And just how does the high-end fashion thing look on that to you? Like, you look up to that, or you just kind of do your own thing and not really find influence in that,
Yeah, I've kind of always did my own thing. I've never watched the Met Gala. I was hired by the Image Awards to do a recap of 50 years of fashion for the NAACP Image Awards, and that was probably the only time that I've ever followed a show. Basil, you know this, I was a background singer for several years, and I would go to the award shows to work and leave before it was over, and I don't know why I didn't have an interest to be there like that. And I can't recall one time in my life where I said, let's watch the award show, and I don't know why. It's just, I love fashion, but I don't know. I've never had a desire to just see what are they doing? You know what I mean? Like, I like to come across fashion as I come across it, but I don't follow anything, not even my favorite designers. Weird, I guess.
No, I can understand that. So when it comes to, breaking into the fashion industry, and also you said background vocalist, this Mac and the other things, now, you are related, you are sisters with Mary. Did you feel a need to separate from them early on in your career?
No, again, that's another thing that comes up a lot. I didn't feel the need to separate them because I'm naturally not them. So I didn't feel pressure to I guess I'm not really influenced in that way. Not to say that I haven't learned so much from them, but I never felt pressure to say, okay, now you have something to do and make sure it doesn't look like music. Make sure you, that's way too much thought to give something that ain't really putting money in my pocket or bettering the world, So I was just like, if I just follow Goo's path, then naturally, since my path naturally looks different than theirs, I don't have to go out of my way because I'm just being GooGoo.
Right.
And that's naturally not Mary.
Now, okay, so from your standpoint, were you worried if other people may have looked at it a certain way?
I became aware that was a thing. A lot of people's siblings and family members who worked with people, all kinds of people you would never imagine, athletes, and their family members would always ask for my advice and kind of gravitate to me. And I'm like, oh, this is a real thing. But no, I'm just grateful that I never felt the need to try to feel any shoes or anything. And then I also didn't allow other people to impose that on me because it just naturally just wasn't something I thought about like that. So if you think about it, cool, and I want to be sensitive to other people who kind of feel that pressure because, everybody is different in that regard, and some people are affected by that and other people's perceptions of them and comparing the two. But I don't let outside forces tell me which way I'm gonna go or not go or what they think I need to be doing because, again, that doesn't help change the world or put a dime in my pocket either.
Well, I see one of the other things you have on the front of your Instagram is faith. I just wanted to ask you how you describe that. What do you see faith as,
Faith is my life. It's my everything. I was raised in a strict Christian home, so there weren't any options to be other things. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he won't depart from it. So even though at the time when I was trained up in the Word, sometimes I wished to do other things, but you come to a place where you get to know God for yourself because you have to put faith into action and say, okay, wait a minute, God, I need you, and I've always heard about you, and I feel like I'm aware, but I need to put this into action. So everything that I have been taught and have been learning my whole life, you just get to certain places where those things are tested. And when it was tested, God was very much real in my life, just as he was in my parents' lives. And because they did what the Bible told them to do, which is train up a child in the way it should go, here I am today still being in the faith. But now it's on my own terms. And sometimes it doesn't look like my parents' terms. And I'm okay with that too. I'm very intentional about pursuing my relationship with God and walking it out the way that he has for me to walk it out. And in doing that, I understand that my journey and my faith is going to look different than other people. But again, I cannot worry about what other people, and with all due respect, not even my parents. You know what I'm saying? And so faith is to me, it's just my whole existence. It's my whole life. It's my why. It's the undertone of my entire life.
Indeed.
These some good answers you get.
Thank you.
Okay, so you doing your own thing, you carving your path, you know what you want to do for you, not worrying about other people. But then you get an opportunity to be on a reality show with your sisters. Now, I guess first, how did that go about you even getting to be a part of that? And were you comfortable with sharing so much of your personal life?
I'm a very you know this, I'm a very transparent person, so, okay, but then having a camera in your face at all times is like, all right, this is weird now, I just want to eat some cereal, or whatever it is, that you want to do stuff that's kind of personal that, hey, get away from me, you know what I mean, type of thing. But, you sign up for it, and to hear whom much is given, much is required. So just like, they were giving me an opportunity to show what it is I do to the world, share yourself with the world. And so, TV has a way sometimes of exploiting certain things and making, putting more attention in certain places and trying to create a narrative that isn't necessarily true. But I just made sure that if I didn't be somebody else on TV, they would not be able to manipulate anything that I did because I was never not being me. And if ever I did something that was less than favorable or whatever, I dealt with what came with that because at least I was legit being me. And you can deal with it and you can handle it when you are being yourself and you're not like putting on for TV. But I got on the show because I'm my sister's stylist. I'm outspoken. They interviewed all the family, and we were just kind of sitting around, and and because I work with them, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. The fact that I got a big mouth probably secured the deal. But so yeah, that's kind of how it came about. And I have a background in entertainment, so I'm not really like a mic in my hand and stuff. That doesn't really make me nervous. It's just sometimes I'll be like, all right, now leave me alone. But so that comfortability with myself and being seen translated well, for TV. Because y'all some people that are funny or that are, whatever, cool, whatever. And then you see them on TV and it's a little awkward. And I don't really know what it is, but it's like TV they can always see, even when shows try to create a narrative, a lot of times they can always see, people can just tell. People can tell, yeah. That if they can tell what you're being and what you're giving, you know what I'm saying? They can tell.
Authenticity, It's real, this ain't, especially when the cameras start rolling, like that can just turn somebody into somebody else, like.
Absolutely. So. People start putting on and turning up and getting big, and it's just like, well, I was already loud, so I didn't really have to make an adjustment in that area, so.
So ultimately, with the reality show, you think that it was a positive for your career?
Yes, and I mean that's a downside, because sometimes it's just like, and people, you kind of invite people to your business, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, when you be making mistakes or you want to be left alone, you want them out of your business. But again, these are the same people that helped build your business. So you got to take the good with the bad and just make the best choices so that you ain't out there looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Or, And then I've always had a life outside of the limelight. I don't put on a special whatever for TV or anything. So what you saw on TV, you'll probably see me on any average Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's regular life for me. So, so it has, you want them out of your face sometimes, but come on, it's the people that help build your business. So you got to be grateful and take it all in stride.
Right. So of course, after this time, you've been in the industry, you've been around a lot of people. I guess what's your take from it, behind the scenes, when the cameras aren't rolling, around a lot of the celebrities? Not saying mention any names, not even any events in particular that made you think this way, but what's your opinion of the people around that you see when you see all these celebrities? Like I said, behind the scenes, behind the camera, no one's looking. Is it all fun and happy like we think it is when we're watching them with walking the red carpets and everything?
It depends on what you think fun is. People are enamored with rich and fabulous,
right?
And I'm not. You know what I mean? So just like I don't care to watch the award shows,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just naturally, I don't care what y'all do. So there are some really, really cool points, especially if that industry is exciting for you. What makes it sad is when people find their validation by what it is that they do, by the fact that they on top right now. So society told you big, so you big. You know what I mean? But if that's not an inside job, if that's not really how you feel about yourself, then you'll always kind of be a junkie to like needing a fix from the audience, and I don't want to give anybody that level of control over my emotions, over my happiness. And so even the people that are validated by, just hanging around celebrities, you look at their social medias and they always have to take pictures with celebrities. Again, it's cool. Celebrities get to do some really cool things, producing television shows and award shows and stuff. It's really fun, so I get it. But I just want to make sure that people understand that is a job. It's a really cool job, and it does not make you, because there's a quote that I love, and it says, if you don't live for the praise of others, then I can't think of the right term, but when they don't like you, it won't kill you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you unbothered either way, it won't, kill you. So when I see people being validated by who they are in the industry or by what the society or culture tells them is, entertainment culture tells them is success, when I see them validated by that, everything comes and goes. So I'm like, dang, when they go, they're going to be torn apart because so much of their self-value and worth was predicated predicated on what people thought of them. So when I see people kind of getting caught up in that web, which it happens a lot, it's like, it kind of makes me sad. 'Cause I'm like, dang, people pick friends based on, are you on a show? Are you popular? How many followers do you have? I'm like, dang, that's such an empty life, because even the people that quote unquote like you, do they? Or are you just to them what the celebrities are to you? You know what I'm saying? Just a, you know, means to an end, if you will.
Right. But all in all, still good though.
Yeah, I guess I do sound a little negative, huh? It is good. It's like I said, it's exciting. It's cool. We get to be creative. We get to do a lot of different things, meet a lot of different people. You get to learn a lot about people. But I would say behind the scenes, if you're looking from the standpoint of creating, it's amazing it's so much to take in. But if you're looking from the standpoint of like being validated, that's when it kind of gets like, hey, you know, and then through it all, just be grateful that you're here. So I try to live in a grateful space, and I'm grateful for my gifts and talents. The scriptures also say, your gifts and talents will make room for you and bring you before great men. So I'm grateful a lot of times to be in circles with people. I'm like, dang, that's so-and-so. I hosted the 50th NAACP Image Awards red carpet, and it was amazing. And I was like looking right there, and then, you know, it was like there was Denzel right there, and then you just look over right here and it's Gayle King, and then you look right there and it's like all these actors and Diddy, and I'm just like, oh, like literally as close as I am to you in this small space, all these people. I'm like, dang, this is amazing. So that's just an incredible feeling to be amongst those people and be working with them and enjoying them. But, you know, I'm just saying, separate from that, say it was cool, and be okay with going home to your apartment and saying, God, I thank you. Because, you know, you don't want to get caught up in the lights, because what will happen is you'll get so close to quote unquote success and money and whatever, and then you'll go home and the enemy will kind of play, because he always wants to, you know, bring you down. You don't have that. That's not your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that is my life. I was there. I was grateful. And I was working like they were working. And I may not have some of the things that they have, but I was there, and I mattered, and I got to experience good energy and all these beautiful black people. So I think if we make sure that is the focus and allow for our thoughts to go that way instead of the other way, don't feel small in those rooms, but feel like, wow, thank you, God, for allowing me to just experience this excellence. I think if you go that way, people will go much further and do much better in the entertainment industry.
Okay. Well, good. It's nice to know. It's nice to hear that there's a lot of positivity in there. Yeah. And as long as you stay positive and focus on what you have to do, you'll be okay. I guess we're gonna wrap it up for this one. Before you go though, as much as you can tell us, what are you working on now? As much as you can tell us.
As much as I can tell us, you know a couple of things about me. Are we gonna talk about the fact that I'm your godmother and I've known you since you were like 8 years old? Like, I mean, are we running away from that?
I was gonna say it in the beginning. I actually had it written down, but then I erased it because I didn't know if you would want me to say that.
Oh my God! I'm sitting here trying to be professional. I'm like, now what are we gonna get to?
I had it written down, but I was like, she probably don't want me to say that. But
how old was you when I dropped Basil? Oh, that's right. Basil was little.
When you met me?
Oh,
yeah, I was really little.
You was like 4 maybe.
Yeah, I was little.
Oh, you sure were, with them locks and eating candy.
Yeah, you ain't seen it, huh?
Spit and juice was falling on down. You had like a sucker or something. I just imagine you had
a sucker right now.
Full circle. So that's our background. I was just sitting here like, all right, now are we going to talk about
this my godmama, the best godmama in the world.
Thank you. So I was your nephew's godmom, and I would come out from in and out of state, and so I would always end up at their house because Veg is my best friend, who was your sister, and so we would be over there. And one of the times I came from out of town, I brought Eric something else, like it was like it was a monkey, some little monkey figurine with the city that I was in, and so I always tried to bring him something from the city that I went to with the name on it, and he was like, oh, that's a cool idea, like you kind of had a look on your face, and Fedge caught it, and she was like, that's cool, huh? And you were like, well, why is you doing this? Well, that's a godmother. You said, well, do I have a godmother? He said, no, and so she said, you were to be your godmother. You said, yeah, and then that's when I said I would love to be. So that's how it came about.
Yeah.
You asked me a question that I didn't answer. I'm sorry.
Now you good.
I got embarrassed.
It's good to let the people know the history. I'm not just asking like, what are you working on right now?
Oh, okay.
Stuff that you can tell, stuff that people probably already know. Just like, what's out there.
I'm going right back to where I was in the beginning, though. Creating those clothes in my head, they will now be coming out in real life. A lot of the stuff that, a lot of times when I style, if I don't see some in the store, I'll go get the fabric and have it made, draw it and piece it and have it made or whatever. So I'm grateful to say that I have a line that's coming out really soon, and then the things that I spoke about, like I said, at the top of the show, I said that the entertainment and getting my own talk show and things like that. Those are literally the conversations I'm having right now. Right before this, I had a Zoom about that stuff. So it's like happening all these years later. So yep.
Okay. I feel like I guess fashion doesn't have a season for you, because I started off saying that. Like maybe it's just always on for you. You're constantly trying to find colors, designs, fabric, what's good, what's hot, what's going to work, And
I'm always getting inspired. I'll see something in nature, the mountains, flowers, and just get inspired. I'll go home and draw something. So earlier when I was talking about stuff is internal, it's just internal. Like I just, an idea pop in my head and I go draw it up, you know what I mean? Or I'll look at a body type and be like, oh, such and such would look great on them, or you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it never really goes out of style. It's just a part of you. I've never been a trend chaser because I grew up pretty poor, so we trends wasn't a thing. You wore what your mama gave you, and then that's it, So I naturally didn't grow up chasing trends. So I grew up creating, and that's kind of still where I am. And I think that's kind of what kept me relevant, because the minute you stop chasing trends, then you won't be relevant anymore if that's what you built your relevance on. So I ain't never had the time to chase it, but I appreciate a lot of them though.
Yeah, I think having a vision, seeing something from nothing. Or seeing some as fashion. I think it goes with the art,
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, so again, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. Got Mama GooGoo.
Now that that's out.
Right, now it's out. But yeah, so any closing words before we go? Good, great convo. Glad to see you doing great things.
Thank you, Eva.
And where can the people follow you and find you?
You can follow me on the GooGoo, THEE, 2 E's, 2 O's, THEEGOOGOO, and that's my socials. And then also booking or whatever, people who want. Well, I'm just gonna say fashion advice, but y'all know how I am about clients. But anyway, anything else about me, my clothing line, and everything else, stay abreast at info@GooGooAtkins.com.
Okay, well there you have it, people, and all you GooGoo Atkins fans that are going to be listening in on this. We are on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're also on YouTube, WACC Entertainment. So stick around, listen to what we have in our back catalog, and stay tuned, subscribe to us, follow us to get new episodes, to get some of our WACC wisdom. Again, thank you, GooGoo.
You're welcome.
And this is the WACCast podcast. We are whacking off.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack
It's
to
the
me.
WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.